My name is Lori Dickman. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. We are going to be working on episode 6 today of my Speedy Solutions Scrap Buster series, where we're actually taking scraps from our stash each week and creating beautiful blocks, gorgeous scrappy blocks that can be used either in quilts, table runners, garments, whatever you choose. There's so much you can do with these beautiful scrappy blocks, and it's all coming from your scrap stash. We are using my Speedy Solutions techniques. This is a book. The books that I have will be linked in the description box below in case you haven't seen those and you're interested in them. But this book teaches you how to cut, sort, organize, store, and get ready to use all of your scrap stash. There's also a video that corresponds to this book. So check out those links below. I will also have videos linked in the PDF for today's block. Today's block is this beautiful Bright Hopes block. This video here, when you pull up this PDF, which is also in the description box, pull that up, and this link here is live that will take you out to that video that corresponds to my Speedy Solutions techniques. Take a moment to watch that if you haven't seen it yet. And this video here is how to determine value when you're sorting your fabrics. That's really important to know. So watch these two videos first, if you haven't seen them already, and then come back and watch this video. Today's block, as I mentioned, was Bright Hopes. I just grabbed strips and 2.5-inch squares from my stash. For my block, I'm using my 1.5-inch wide strip stash, and I'm using 2.5-inch squares. You could actually make this block in a variety of different sizes, but this is the size that we're working on today. This is an 8.5-inch unfinished block, and I'm going to show you here what you're going to need to pull from your stash to make this block. All right, you're going to want to go to your stash and pull your 2.5-inch squares container. You're going to need that. And you're going to want to pull your 1.5-inch strips container. So those are the two containers you need. Grab those, put the video on pause, and then come on back with those containers, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. I do want to mention, one of the things you could do with all these sample blocks you're making is put them together and quilt it up into a quilt and then cut it out into a quilted jacket. I have a quilted jacket video that I'll also link below in the description box in case you would like to make a simple quilted jacket. And I do have a pattern for a quilted jacket out on my website. It's where you use a quilt that you already have that's made and ready to go. Sometimes those vintage quilts are perfect for these quilted jackets. And then you'll lay out the pattern pieces on the quilt and create the jacket. Something to think about. So I'll have that linked below. Now let's take a look at what we need here. This is the PDF. It gives you everything you need to know to make this block. And then I have given you a sample diagram here of a quilt that is just using 4 of these blocks. And of course, you can make this block, into a table runner with just 3, or just a placemat, or a small wall quilt, or a king-size quilt. It all depends on how much scraps you have, and that will determine the size that you'll be able to make. So what you're going to need for each and every block are 4 2.5-inch squares, and I'm using light. And again, you can reverse all of the values. You don't have to use the values in the places where I have used light, dark, etc. But I'm using 4 lights that are 2.5-inch squares. I am using 4 of each of these strips. I simply went to my strips container, pulled out some strips, and I subcut 4 of them they're all 3.5 inches long. And what you're going to need is a medium 1, medium 2, medium 3, and you need 4 of each of those. In fact, let me do this. I'll move this around. So here's medium 1, medium 2, medium 3. And that's the dart. So you need 4, 4, 4, and 4. And they're all subcut into 3.5-inch strips. So that is what you're going to need for each and every block. Now, this is another one of those blocks that has partial seams. So you're going to get to learn, if you didn't already learn my partial seam block on one of the first videos I've done, this one also has a partial seam, and I'm going to show you how that's done. All right, first of all, I want to apologize. My husband is mowing, so every few minutes you'll hear the mower come by the window, and I apologize for that humming noise that you're going to hear. But that's the way it is. It's summertime, and he's got to mow. So here we have the block in front of us. You're going to make 4 units to create this block. So here is 1 unit. The 2.5-inch square goes in the middle. We're going to start by placing my medium number 1 down here at the bottom. And again, you can put the strips around here in any order. Doesn't matter. Totally up to you. I just recommend that whichever way you start, go ahead and finish all units the same so that they're all going in the same direction and the color placement is identical. And maybe you're using the same color strip. Maybe you're just using 2 colors, 3 colors, whatever. I happen to be using 5 colors in each unit. A light, these I'm considering mediums, and here's a dark. All right, so what you're going to do is start, first of all, with taking this strip, and this is how I started it. I placed this here, and I started sewing from the 90-degree area here and sewed straight in a 1/4-inch seam allowance, stopping about 1/2 inch away from the end and back stitching, and let that tail be loose. Then I finger pressed everything open toward the log or the little strip. And then you can add the second one, whatever color you choose. In my case, I'm using a navy blue. And I'm sewing from here all the way to the end. Each one of these strips now around are going to fit beautifully. I finger pressed it toward the dark. I did the same with this gold one. And then when I got over here to this last one, it will get sewn from here to there. Actually, it's going to be a little bit shorter there. It's going to fit beautifully from here to there. So that's going to just stitch on there just like that, perfectly with all the seam allowances in there. And then remember, this little guy is loose. So all you're going to do is come back, line everything up, and stitch it from here to the end. And when all the seam allowances are in there, it works out beautifully. That's all there is to it. I'm going to take you to my machine and just show you how I put one of those together so it's much clearer at the machine. I brought my camera here to the sewing machine so you can see how the block is put together. Here's my 2.5-inch square. Here's my first strip. I'm going to sew my strips in the same order all the way around. So just choose whatever color you decided and sew the strips in the same order. I'm going to lay this strip right sides together with the square, and I'm going to start sewing a 1/4 inch seam allowance from the top down here, and I'm going to stop at about 1/2 inch. I might just backstitch real quick and remove this, trim this, and I'm going to finger press, and you'll see this is loose right there. All right, so I have my unit here. It's been finger pressed toward the log there, toward the strip. Now I'm taking my dark blue strip, and I am laying that along here, and I can sew all the way from end to end and complete that seam without any issues here. There we go. I just made an adjustment to my stitch length. All right. Then we will finger press. So now I've got 2 logs on there. Now I'm going to go to the next log, which is this yellow. I will lay that across the top there. And again, it matches, so I can go ahead and stitch across the entire seam. Trim, get rid of some of these extra threads. Finger press. So as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to move this little guy out of the way, tuck him back. And now we're going to take the last strip and we're going to match it up so it will stitch beautifully from here to there. And again, I've kept this piece of the first strip tucked out of my way so I don't accidentally sew it. And we'll get rid of some of these excess threads here, finger press. And now this needs to be attached. All I need to do is bring this down and bring this over and stitch. So I'm going to stitch from here down to the end, and that will finish that partial seam. And finger press that. Now we're going to square up each of these units to 4.5 inches. Now comes the fun part. How do you want to lay out your block? The first thing I did was take these to the iron, and I pressed everything and squared each unit up to 4.5 inches. Now, how do you want to lay it out? This is how I put this one together. I made sure that the yellows were in the center, creating this cross. And that's how the Bright Hopes block is put together in this diagram here. So you can certainly follow that or just be creative. The pattern is a suggestion. You don't have to follow the pattern. Here you'll see I've laid each unit identically where all of the strips are lined up just as the strip is in the other unit. You could certainly do that. Maybe you'd like to flip 2 of them to the inside, and then you've got 2 that are touching one another, and then as you lay each block with one another, these 2 will also be touching. So that's an idea. Everything is offset just a little bit because of the partial seams and how it was put together. So have fun. Decide, how do I want to put my block together? Have a good time with it. And there's so many different color variations. You can go very, very scrappy. You can choose fabric lines that you have in your stash that you really love to create this gorgeous block. And there's so many things that you can do with it. They can all be put together to create a beautiful garment, or maybe a tote bag, or maybe even a pillow, a very large pillow, if you put 4 of them together, as I've done here. I would love to hear from each of you how you plan to put yours together. If you're going to follow the diagram that's in the PDF for you, or if you're going to do something different. Let me know what you plan to do in the comments. If you like the video tutorials that I prepare for you, please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment in the comments below. That really does help my channel to grow and to get out to other quilters just like yourself. Don't forget to grab this PDF that's out there. There are some videos here for you to watch if you haven't seen them. And I have a number of things listed in the description box for you if there are links to the books and also to those jacket videos. So have fun checking all that out. And until next time, happy quilting.